Welcome to day 5. It's a stamina day, which means we're gonna try to move fast and fluid, but consistently. So our goal isn't to try to have a drag race with ourselves. Our goal is to get up to a nice cruising speed and then hang on to that for a while. So there will be some ups and downs because we'll be switching movements and switching which areas of the body we emphasize with each movement. So there is a component of interval training. It's just that we're not going to be yelled at by beeps. We're going to do it today through reps. So our changing of exercises will be where our waves of intensity come from. Okay, we'll start with a little daily dose, and then we'll go through the movements, and then I'm going to do a 3-round set of them with you. So let's put some time on, get things flowing. So I'm just going to do a minute for today for each set, because then we'll do a little bit of work on practicing the movements, and then the stamina will give us plenty of time in our workout. So we're going to start with some body weight hinges. And because of the nature of the workout to follow, I'm going to be a little bit more fluid with my warm-up today. Exhale as you fold. Inhale as you stand. I'm going to add some circles like yesterday. And then down from mountain and valley. Good. Mountain valleys always remind me if I forgot to take my socks off. That's rolling squat time. Shake that off. Rolls on the ground. So back roll to lunge. Remember to hold your shape together on those rolls from your center. So keep some tension, especially when you're in transition. Going back and then coming back up. And grab my squat block for some eagle squats. If you have a nice deep squat, remember bringing your arms up overhead will increase the range challenge of that squat position. Time to hang. So grab a piece of wall and lean into it and pull away, or preferably grab something to hang on to. Pivots. Nice wide stance to begin. And for that twist to coil up, reach with your elbows so your whole body turns into it, not just bringing your arms across. You want to feel those spiral lines pulling all the way around. Load, unload, load, unload. Good. And finally, straight arm throws. I'm throwing the circle more in front of my body. Again, not to the side. And not because there's anything wrong going to the side, we're just differentiating the two positions. And some alternating. Shake that off. So let's swap out our boards, see what's on the docket. For stamina. So rolling squats, which we have been doing as part of our daily dose each session. So we're doing some more rolling squats. I'm going to show a variant of rolling squats where I add a little hop at the top. Then leg swings. So straight leg swings are a more aggressive, in a range way, a little bit more advanced than a bent leg swing where I keep my knee straight. I'm going to do both, but either one is fine. You can throw your leg up and down either way. Then floor vaults, which I went over in the previous episode. So we'll go over those again today. Swings. Good old swings. I am still sore from that power workout in my hammies. So you may be as well, but swings will help flush that out. And then finally, some mountain and valley, either straight arm or bent arm on our mountain and valleys. And then we're going to sit in a squat for our finisher, for our cool down. So let's go through each one again. Rolling squat. So I just demoed it. Couple cues to remember. Your arms help to guide the circle of the movement. So they sweep back at the very top, and then I squat down, and it's just a half squat, just like I was loading for a jump. And then at the nadir here of the squat, then my arms sweep forward, and everything comes up together. Notice that I'm relaxed here in my arms. Hold on, I got a beeper. So my arms don't need to be straight out like this. In fact, if I try to force that tension, force that perfect line, it's going to feel a lot less fluid. So I'm going to sweep them back. Then I'm going to drop down right on top of my feet, and they're going to sweep up as I come up. And again, I'm going to use that circle of the arm, it's more of a half circle, to help create that fluid feeling. So it'll turn my linear up and down squat into more of a circling motion. So 15 of those. If I want to add a little hop at the top, I just add a little hop at the top. So just a little bounce. Rolling squat's all about loading your springs. So we load and then let our springs unload. Load and then unload. It's definitely a locomotive power movement. And by springs, I mean our stretch reflex. Springs is more fun to say, and it gets to the heart of the matter. Next one, our leg swings. So here we're going to take a staggered stance. So, and if you take this from the martial tradition, have your feet turned inward just a little bit, Front one could be more forward, but you don't have to. A lot of times people think they have to be their feet on two rails every time you get in this shape. Don't. Make it feel loose and comfortable for you. And then we're going to swing the rear leg. That means I'm going to focus on my root leg and strong center. So I'm going to pull the leg up with the rest of my body and then step back. Notice too, it may feel natural for your arms to come forward and switch. Now, while this might not be good for defending myself, where I want to keep my block up, this will feel good from a locomotive point of view, in that we're going to do a cross body movement, and that means upper body will counterbalance our lower body, just like when we're walking, running, sprinting, leaping, all of those things. So use your arms, let them go natural. Don't like, I got to do it a particular, I got to put my arms in a special spot. So that's coming up with a bent leg, strong center, strong root, bent leg. And then straight leg is just like what it sounds. It is not like a little whip kick. So I'm not extending the knee out at the end. I'm keeping the leg straight, and everything comes straight up and straight back down. Straight up and straight back down. So I hold it long to create a little more tension. And this asks more of your hammies. So if you have particularly sore hammies like I do today, you might back off on that. In fact, I might even do mine with bent leg just to not overtax my hamstrings today. And then our last one, mountain and valley. So straight arms or bent arms. So one variant, it takes kind of the legs out of it a little bit, but one variant, if you want to do the dip and you don't have the dip, is you just stay on your knees and you finish really in sort of an active child's pose. And then you roll through, press up, so my knees just stay on the ground. Leave my knees on the ground. And then I can have that rolling circular movement of the dip. You also notice how my hands roll to the outside edges as I come through. You'll find that that feels natural the more you do these fast and fluid. You don't have to do it that way. A lot of times mountain valleys were and are practiced with a board that you hold on the end. So it's like an elevated board, and it puts you into that neutral wrist position. So this is just a little way of getting a little bit more to a neutral wrist position as you pass through the most challenging angle instead of forcing the flat wrist. Whatever feels good for your supports is the way to go. There's always room to change and improve and have different options available, but don't force a prescriptive hand position and a hand stance on your body if your body isn't ready for it today or wants to do it today. So be fluid. Allow yourself to change principles based on, or change prescriptions based on the principles. All right, I think it's time to put some time on. So I'm going to do or shoot for 3 rounds, and I'm going to track the time it takes for me to complete my 3 rounds. Again, my goal isn't to race myself. My goal is to find a good, steady working pace, and then hold on to it, and not have to like rest and then shove and then rest. So I want to try to find a good steady state working pace. And then if I feel good, then I'm going to try to ramp it up at the end. So I'm going to try to get stronger as I finish. All right, let's put some time on. Clock will be counting up. The other thing, when you're doing a stamina workout, so this one isn't a super long one. Again, it's more of an introductory lesson, but using some counting device other than your own head. So I have these little patches here, and you can just move them over or flip them over, something so then you remember rounds, especially if you're doing a lot of rounds of a set of exercises. Then you don't have to hold so many numbers in your head. All right, I don't know how much you can hear of it, but I have my big 80s playlist today that always feels stamina-rific, I think is the correct adjective to me. So, rolling squats, away we go. Followed by leg swings. And come down, floor vaults. Swings. And finally, Mountain Valley. We'll go right back to rolling squats. Straight leg or bent leg swings. Really trying to use strength to pull the leg up, so I'm not just doing a little hip flexor. I'm pulling that leg up nice and high. Strong center and strong root. The other thing on leg swings that's good to feel is feel like you're reaching your knee away from your hip. So you feel like the leg is pulling away from the hip rather than just jamming upward at it. And you can direct that in part by directing your pelvis. So if you lead the movement from the center, pelvis throws the leg. You'll feel yourself having more space because you won't just be holding your pelvis in place and then kind of jamming your knee. See how low it goes? Let it fly. Swings. Mountain Valley. So, round 3. Rolling squats. Leg swings. 4 ball. Swings. Yeah, Mountain Valley. Big breath. Did it. Knuckles to you. So just take a few breaths. I'm gonna grab a little water. I switched my drink over to German today. Maybe you can't see that. Bitburger. So the other thing I forgot to do was check my clock when I finished. So for a stamina workout, that's how you can track progression. So if you do the same workout. The other thing I didn't do, I was being a little bit more fluid with my session today, but I didn't keep my weight consistent. But if you have a consistent weight and then you have a time, you can track how long it took you to complete. You can try to lower that time. Now, at some point, that practice reduces to the absurd in that your movement will completely fall apart and you're just trying to scramble to beat a number on the clock. Another good reason why movement matters most, not the things that you track about it. So if that happens, then you really want to up the intensity by, if you have weights in the workout, to pick up a heavier weight, do something heavier there, or add rounds, and just start your time over. So you add another round or 2 rounds if you can't go any faster without the wheels falling off the wagon. That's levers you can adjust on a stamina workout. But basically, we're working on doing all of the things and then tracking our work through all of those things over time. Very good. So let's do a little squatting. Again, I'm going to bring my squat block out, at least for starting up. And I'm going to use my eagle squat to get in. I'm also going to bring a couple of tools along for the ride. So the first tool I brought was a anchor out in front of me. So here I need a heavy enough weight that I won't fall back against it, and it will help keep me upright as I sit down into my squat. And then I'm going to reach it away. There we go. So I don't have to use so much upper body tension. If I have it in too close, then I have to pull, actively pull. But I can passively pull just by straightening out my arm. And then I just get into that light position of suspend, where my arm is fully elongated. And I'm just mostly hanging on structure here. And then with a tool like this, as my legs move open, and as my body comes more inside of my stance, then I might start removing my digits. So I'm just hanging on the end of my index finger over here. Again, rather than just clamping on and calling it good. So that way I can kind of check in. And if I remove, oh, cool, look, I can hang out for a little while and then I come back. I can do some light reps of removing and then coming back to my squat. And allow yourself to come out whenever you need. Probably start feeling the front of your shins. Fatigue because your feet are trying to dorsiflex. So the foot's trying to pull back this way to keep your body from falling backwards when you're in your deep squat. So just come out of it. You can shake that off. Then I'm looking around me to see if I have a good spot for this. Let's see, maybe if I move a couple bells. So here I'm anchoring in front. I also really enjoy anchoring from behind. So here I need something firm to push against. And then I find my squat. I'm not going to use my block for this one. I'm a little bit more warmed up. But so I'm pushing against the wall to push my body forward. And again, I can do one arm at a time while I do some prying. Elbows make good pry bars inside of your stance here. I can also add some rotation, twist. And the other fun thing, so I can add in a little extension work in my shoulder. So seems a little, language-wise, feels a little opposite, but this is shoulder flexion, and the shoulder comes back down. It's extension, so the shoulder swoops behind you, the shoulder extension. Good, and then come back up, shake that out. All right, so we did it. Nice workout today. Tomorrow is going to be another daily dose with some teaching, and then after that on Sunday, after a daily dose, we're just going to do some range work. So some gentle dynamic flexibility work, range of strength work on Sunday after we warm our bodies up, because always best to come into that practice warm and have your mind and your body prepped for movement versus just throwing throwing positions and patterns on top of it before it's ready. So those will be our last two of this 7-session series. So thank you very much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.